What's going on, guys? In this video, we're here in the workshop. Today is my Sunday after Hurricane Milton, so I want to get some stuff done before we start off the work week and get right back into this. I've been messing with this a little bit over the weekend, some oil lines and stuff. I'll update you guys on the dedicated video for the 426 3-liter Whipple. But in this video, I want to mess with my eco diesel. So we got the Hellcat Ram here. We've got Duke up here, our built Challenger. We're going to be getting into the racing content in the next little bit as the weather cools down here in Florida, but I have been neglecting my Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. This thing is my daily, it's my workhorse, and every one of my friends always is giving me hell for the tires on this thing. So we went all the way to LS Fest, Texas, in obviously Texas. We were pretty much in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, and I went there on these tires, and they are on the wear bars, you guys. All my friends keep telling me, how are you driving around on bald tires? But I don't know. I've just, when you grow up in the snow, you're just used to things always spinning. So it's not like this thing has a ton of power. But look at this one. This one is just right onto the wear bars. So, and the fronts aren't much better, to be honest. They're pretty much end of life down to the wear bars. You can see they're dry rotted. More than anything, though, I'm getting a vibration out of the tire. So I wanted to address that and you know, have my daily not be shaking all the time when I'm on the highway. So what I picked up here is I got these Toyo Open Country ATs. They're AT3s actually, so they're the latest and greatest from Toyo. Picked these up for a good price, actually. I got them for $900 for the set. If you guys have ever shopped these tires, they're usually like $1,500 American, but literally brand new with the stickers on them. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount these up. There was a guy that had a surplus of them and I jumped on the deal, obviously. So I could go bigger tire size. This is a 4x4 truck, but I'm just staying with the stock size, 275 60 20. And the date codes are good. Look, 1323 on all of them, so 2023 tires. I'll take it. Let's go ahead and start getting these mounted up. So we'll pop off the rears, start with that, and get into this. I'm also really curious how it's gonna look with the other tires on there. These ones are obviously pretty much bald. Should be the same size, but it's gonna be a much more aggressive looking tire. So kind of excited to see how it's gonna look with the better tires on there, let's be honest. These Goodyears that come with these factory 20s are not the greatest. So rear tires are off the ground, let's pop them. All right, so I got this one off. What I do want to do is throw it on the balancer first before we unmount it, because like I said, I am getting a vibration. So I just want to make sure the rim's not bent and see if we can identify that vibration before we dismount everything. So I want to see if, you know, one's like way out of whack, and then we'll be like, oh, okay, that's where the vibration is from. So let's put it on our Ranger tire machine. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do this without moving the RV out, but I'm gonna try, see if I got enough room. It's gonna be tight. All right, decided to pull it out. It's just way easier. So now we've got all the room in the world to use our Ranger tire machines. Okay, so we've got our distance to the actual rim, and then we've got our width 9-inch and our diameter 20. So now if we close this, let's see what we're left with. The rim looks good, but that tire jumps. Woohoo! 2.75. I don't know if you guys can see that jumping. I hope that's not the rim that's bent, but I don't think it is. It looks like this tire is just a bad tire. So that's where our vibration is more than likely coming from. So let's go ahead, we'll unmount this tire. Or dismount, I should say. We can also take off the other one and just compare it, but when I look at the rim, I think this is where the vibration is coming from, because I don't see anything moving right here, but the tire is definitely hopping. So 2.75 ounces and 1.25, but yeah, the tire is physically jumping. So all right, so we'll pop this off. I'm kind of curious though, before I unmount that, let's check the other rear. I'm betting this is where the vibration is coming from though. Okay, here's the other one. This one's more of a racing slick, but let's see what this one comes up with. Yeah, so this one's not jumping nearly as much. Yeah, see, 1.25. I don't know if you guys can see that, 1.25 and 0.75. But at least this tire is mostly round. So let's get to it. All right, so we just got the one bead off, and now we gotta lift the tire up and get the bottom of the tire off. This is probably the most fun part, especially with the 20. No! Alright, so one thing you want to make sure is your TPMS sensor is away from here. Otherwise, you can have too much fun. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to run this around, making sure to keep an eye on your TPMS sensor. And we are on. It's a little bit easier with these bigger tires and they're softer, to be honest. So, and then we'll line our dot with our valve stem, gear this thing up. All right, guys, it's the next day because this is the current state of affairs. So, as you guys know, I don't claim to be any sort of tire machine expert, but I did get these tire machines so that we could do everything in-house. So it does have one of these bead blasters built in. That's the chamber right there. I don't know how many gallons it might be, but here it is. Here it's the attachment. I could not get this bead to seat for the life of me. And I didn't want to resort to the old ether or brake clean and a match because I like my wheels. There's sensors in the wheels. I don't know if I really want to be trying to put out a fire, which is literally what happens most of the times when you do the, throw a match at it type thing with putting some sort of flammable content in the tire. So I actually went and pretty much you can get these little bead blasters and people swear by them. Also tire shops have them. But essentially what it does is just let out a burst of air in a hurry. You'll see the big ball valve on it. Harbor Freight had this for $150. I actually got this one from Northern Tool and it was only $99 and they look identical, all of them, whether it's you find it online for 50 bucks or Harbor Freight ones, they all look literally the same. They have a gauge here, overpressure valve, you fill it up with air and then the big valve and it lets it out. So I actually managed to get this thing to seal with that, but you can see all this, I just have a mess out right now. I used regular ratchet straps, tried 2 of them. I used car ratchet straps, 2.5 inch wide straps, multiple ones, could not squeeze the tire to get the bead to seal. This actually worked. So I'm gonna go ahead, get the other tire dismounted, get the new one on, and you can kind of see because there isn't air in these, obviously, the inner lip is squeezed like this. And when it is like that, it can't expand because the way these rims are, they're skinnier in the center, so it has nothing to seat on. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, swap that one over, and I'll show you guys the explosion part because I literally have earplugs in because this thing is loud when it pops off. Also, check this out. They're both the same 275 60/20s, but look how much bigger this one looks. I don't know if it's just because these ones are that worn, but this one's a little bit sunk at the bottom just because there's not full of air, but you can just tell this one is much bigger. Should look good on the truck. All right, so I went ahead, put one on here, got it completely zeroed out, inner and outer. So I had to put a bit of a strip on there for sure, but these are pretty big meaty tires, so who knows. But anyways, got them zeroed out, so that's one. Got one more to do, and then we can put the rears back on and start doing the fronts. All right, here's the second tire, all zeroed out. Here we go with the third wheel, all zeroed out. All right, so we got the last one ready to go. One thing that my buddy Mike at an actual tire shop, that's all he does is tires, he said that what you want to do is mount it on your balancer, run it, see what it's saying, and then unmount it, not completely off, but just reset it on the actual balancer and make sure your results are repeatable. So that's what I just did. I loosened it all off, put it back on here. So we're looking for 1/2 ounce and 1 ounce, and we'll make sure that it's pretty much the same because we want to make sure that it's accurately and properly centered on here. So 1/2 ounce, 1.25. So pretty much the same result as before. So what we're gonna do is we'll mount it where it wants. And if you're wondering what I'm doing here, so you turn it till the machine tells you. Outer, because that's the setting that we have it on here. It wants 1.25 ounces there. And we're gonna clean this off. I'm just cleaning it off with acetone. So if they're super nice wheels, I mean, not that these aren't good wheels, but I'm just using acetone. It's pretty non-invasive, but you know, maybe if you're like super show car wheel, you'll probably want to wash them down with wheel cleaner, get all the brake dust off so that the sticky weights can actually fit. Because I'm putting the sticky weights on here and not the metal weights, because these are kind of ugly and I don't want these on the outside of my wheel. So we're using all the sticky weights all on the inners. All right, so check it out. It's asking for 1/2 ounce and 1.25 ounces. So 1/2 ounce right here. So you can see right there, all of our lights are lit up, and it tells us because it beeps right when it's at the top. And then if we go over here, that's where our 1.25 is. So there we go, we got 1.25. So now we're gonna recheck this and it'll tell us if it wants any more and where it wants it. So we'll give it a second here, and then she'll tell us where we're at. So it still wants 1/4 and 1/2. So let's see where it wants it. Sometimes it'll be in the same spot, sometimes it'll be in a different spot. So here's where we added it on the inner last time. So it wants it right here. And then on the outer, let's see, it wants, look, chances are, yeah, so it wants 1/2 more of an ounce right there where the rest of them are. So let's do that one first since it's already clean. So we'll take our sticky weights, we'll rip off 2. All right, so you can see our lights are lit up there. We just added these 2 right there. So those are nice and secure. Now let's do the little one that it wants. We'll spin this till right there. Now we're just gonna take one of these and we're gonna stick it right there once I clean it. All right, so we're all lit up at the top here. We've got our one little sticky weight there. Let's see if she's happy now. Let this run for a second. Hopefully we're all zeroed out. Let's see what we got. All zeroed out. So that's it. She is perfectly balanced and ready to go back on the truck. So we'll take this off. We'll put our center cap back on. It is a mess here right now, but we got the job done. All right guys, so it's the next day and these tires look awesome. I don't think there's any two ways about it, but they look much more aggressive. They look way better than those other ones. So it's pretty straightforward as far as the install process, but you definitely have to be conscious of the TPMS sensors on these things. One other thing that I wanted to tell you guys about is I do have the airbags in the back because we tow heavily with this EcoDiesel, as you guys probably know if you've been following on the channel. But you'll notice my front looks a heck of a lot lower than the rear. So I do strongly feel like that's probably because of the airbags in the back. So I might actually put the Bilstein adjustables in the front and just pick it up a little bit. I do still want to maintain a little bit of rake because we tow so heavily with this thing. I don't want it to be just sagging in the back and being all squatted out when we do actually tow. So but I can, by the looks of it, pick up the front just a little bit because we got some pretty serious rake on this thing right now. But that'll do it for this video. If you guys are interested in Ram 1500 content, I'm gonna be doing a lot more stuff. This thing is just about to roll over 200,000 miles. We originally got this with a blown EcoDiesel engine, put a brand new engine in it from Mopar, a factory crate engine, and it had about 110,000 miles. We've put about 90,000 trouble-free miles on this, and it's still going strong. So I've been loving this truck. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. We'll catch you guys on the next video. Check out the other Ram content already on the channel, but I'm just letting you guys know I'm gonna try to do a little bit more stuff because it's been a while since I've really done anything to my dailies. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those, and we'll see you guys in the next video.